I was married off to a 60-year-old man when I was just 17. Okay, so here is the real story. I don't talk about it much because honestly it is painful, but maybe someone out there needs to hear it. I grew up in a very big city with just my mom. She left my dad when I was just a baby, and after that it was just me and my mother. She hated me so much because according to her, I made her the way she is. If she hadn't given birth to me, she would still be married. According to her, I was a cause and a big distraction. Everything about me irritated her so much. She would yell at me at every slighted provocation. When I clocked 16, my mom started bringing me around wealthy men. I thought she was just doing the best for us. This man wants to help us, she would say. They can pay your school fee, take you to university, and give us a better life. I trusted her because she was my mom. Even though she treated me badly, I thought she had my best interest at heart. At first, it was innocent. We would go to fancy restaurants, and my job was to smile and be polite. I didn't understand why these men were so interested in us. But the money started coming. My mom said it was for my future, and I believed her. But soon, things started changing. Let's throw it back a little. In a very small town in Africa, my father Jude was married to my mom Abena. Though they weren't wealthy, but they were happy. We had a modest home. When they gave birth to me, they loved me so much. I brought so much joy to their life. Life was simple and peaceful. My father worked tirelessly as a banker, earning just enough to keep our modest home running. Though our house was small and barely furnished, it was filled with love and laughter. Abena, my mother, owned a fruit shop at the bustling town market. Every morning, she would rise up before dawn to set her fruit shop, arranging fresh mangoes, oranges, and pineapple with a smile that drew customers like bees to honey. She had a way of lightening up the room. Her laughter was as sweet as the fruits she sold. After a while, things became a little harder for them, but they pushed on regardless. Evening was my favorite time. My mother would prepare delicious meal, humming traditional music while stirring pot of soup and pounded yam. She danced as she cooked, her braided hair swinging to the rhyme of her joy. My father would come home exhausted but content, his face breaking into a smile as soon as he heard her singing from the kitchen. After dinner, we would sit outside under the stars, listening to stories about how my parents met, my father's shy proposal to my mother's playful teasing before she finally said yes. But as time went on, things began to change. My mother, once content with our simple life, grew restless. Business at her fruit shop slowed, and she started talking about how life could have been easier if only we had more. At first, my father brushed it off, thinking it was just her frustration speaking. He promised her that things would get better if they kept working hard. As time went by, my mother began to feel restless. She saw traders from distant city arriving in shiny cars, wearing bright, expensive dresses and flashing gold jewelries. They bought perfume that smelled like the white flowers and expensive shoes. My mother couldn't help but wonder what it would be to live in such a life, free from chores and endless suffering. One market, she caught the attention of a wealthy merchant named Kwame, a smooth-talking man who traded in exotic goods. He wore gold rings that gleamed in the sunlight and watch that ticked with elegance. His words were sweet as the mango my mother sold. "You are too beautiful, Abena, for this dusty market," Kwame said one day, handing her a silk